What if one woman almost changed the fate of the entire Roman Empire? A young queen, brilliant, fearless, extremely intelligent. She used language, strategy, and charm to influence the most powerful men in the world. But in the end, her story became one of the most tragic endings in history. This is the story of Cleopatra, the last Queen of Egypt. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I hope you are having a peaceful and beautiful day. Today, we are traveling back more than 2,000 years into the past, to a world of royal palaces, dangerous politics, epic battles, and powerful empires. And through this story, you will also improve your English listening skills in a fun and natural way. If you enjoy stories like this, please subscribe to the channel and support our journey. Your support helps us create more beautiful stories for English learners around the world. Now, let's begin. Cleopatra was born in 69 BC in the city of Alexandria, Egypt. At that time, Alexandria was one of the most advanced cities in the world. It was full of scientists, philosophers, artists, and giant libraries filled with books. But here's something surprising. Cleopatra was not originally Egyptian. Her family was Greek. They came to Egypt many years earlier after the time of Alexander the Great, and they ruled Egypt for nearly 300 years. From a young age, Cleopatra was different from everyone around her. While other royals enjoyed luxury and entertainment, Cleopatra loved learning. She studied languages, science, mathematics, philosophy, and history. She could speak many languages fluently, including Egyptian, something very unusual in her family. Most rulers before her never even bothered to learn the language of their people. But Cleopatra understood something important very early in life. If you want people to respect you, you must first understand them. When Cleopatra was 18 years old, her father died and she became Queen of Egypt. But there was a problem. According to tradition, she had to rule together with her younger brother. Imagine that. A brilliant and ambitious young queen forced to share power with a child. At first, everything seemed peaceful. But behind the palace walls, dangerous plots were already beginning. Her brother's advisors feared Cleopatra's intelligence and influence. They wanted to control Egypt themselves, so they started spreading lies about her. Slowly, they turned people against her. And finally, Cleopatra was forced to leave Egypt. She escaped to Syria. For many people, this would have been the end. But not for Cleopatra. She refused to give up. Instead of crying over her lost kingdom, she began building a plan to take it back. She gathered soldiers, made alliances, and prepared for war. And at the same time, destiny was bringing another powerful man to Egypt, a Roman general named Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was one of the most powerful men in the world. When Cleopatra heard he had arrived in Egypt, she immediately realized this could be her only chance to reclaim the throne. But there was one huge problem. Her enemies controlled the city. If she entered openly, she would probably be killed. So Cleopatra created one of the most famous plans in history. Late one night, a servant carried a large rolled carpet into Caesar's palace. The guards believed it was a gift for Caesar. But when the carpet was unrolled, Cleopatra herself appeared from inside it. Imagine Caesar's reaction. He was shocked, but also deeply impressed. This young woman had risked her life just to speak with him, and from that moment, history changed forever. Cleopatra and Caesar quickly became very close. Some historians say they fell in love. Others believe it was mostly a political alliance. Maybe it was both. But one thing was certain. Caesar decided to support Cleopatra. This decision started a brutal war inside Egypt. Battles exploded across Alexandria. The royal palace became surrounded. Fire spread through the harbor, and some historians believe part of the great library of Alexandria was destroyed during the fighting. After months of war, Caesar finally won. Cleopatra's younger brother drowned in the Nile River while trying to escape, and once again, Cleopatra became Queen of Egypt. Later, Cleopatra gave birth to a son named Caesarion, which means Little Caesar. Soon after, she traveled to Rome with her child, but many Romans hated seeing a foreign queen so close to Caesar. They feared Caesar wanted too much power. Then suddenly, tragedy struck. In 44 BC, Julius Caesar was assassinated. Roman senators stabbed him to death inside the Senate. Everything changed overnight. Cleopatra quickly left Rome and returned to Egypt, knowing danger was coming once again. After Caesar's death, a new powerful man entered her life. Mark Antony, a famous Roman general and one of Caesar's closest allies. When Antony met Cleopatra, history repeated itself. He was immediately fascinated by her. Their first meeting looked almost like a movie scene. Cleopatra arrived on a magnificent ship with purple sails and silver decorations, dressed like a goddess. She knew exactly how to create unforgettable moments. And it worked. Soon, Cleopatra and Mark Antony became partners, politically and romantically. Together, they became incredibly powerful. But in Rome, another man was watching them carefully. A man named Octavian, the future Emperor Augustus. Octavian began turning Roman people against Antony and Cleopatra. He claimed Antony had forgotten Rome because of Cleopatra. He said the Egyptian queen wanted to control the Roman Empire. Little by little, public opinion changed. And finally, war became unavoidable. In 31 BC, the two sides met in a massive naval battle called the Battle of Actium. Hundreds of ships filled the sea, smoke covered the sky, chaos was everywhere. But during the battle, Cleopatra's ships suddenly turned away and sailed from the battlefield, and Mark Antony followed her. That moment changed everything. Their remaining forces surrendered, and the dream of victory was over. Cleopatra and Antony returned to Egypt, knowing Octavian would soon arrive. And he did. When Octavian's army entered Egypt, Antony lost hope. After hearing a false rumor that Cleopatra had died, he stabbed himself with his own sword. But the rumor was not true. Cleopatra was still alive. Antony was carried to her while dying, and he passed away in her arms. Now Cleopatra stood completely alone. Octavian captured her alive. He planned to take her to Rome as a prisoner and display her publicly during his victory parade. For Cleopatra, this humiliation was worse than death. So she made one final decision. In 30 BC, Cleopatra died at the age of 39. Some believe she allowed a poisonous snake to bite her. Others believe she used poison. No one knows the exact truth. But one thing is certain. She chose her own ending. With Cleopatra's death, Egypt lost its independence and became part of the Roman Empire. She was the last true pharaoh of Egypt. But even after more than 2,000 years, the world still remembers her. Not simply because she was beautiful, but because she was intelligent, courageous, educated, and powerful in one of the most dangerous times in history. She proved that knowledge can be a form of power. And maybe that is why her story still fascinates people today. And honestly, there is something inspiring about that. Cleopatra learned languages to connect with the world. And today, we are learning English for the same reason. Every new word we learn opens another door. Every story teaches us something new about people, history, and life itself. Thank you so much for listening today. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more English learning stories. And tell me in the comments, which historical figure should we explore next? Until next time, my friends, keep learning, keep listening, and keep enjoying your English journey.